Are you struggling to pass the CAPM exam? If so, you are in the right place. In this video, we are diving into Domain 1, Task 2, Mastering Project Management Planning. I break it down clearly and walk you through 6 topics you must understand to pass the exam. Along the way, I'll share some real exam tips, and if you stay until the end, I'll give you a bonus strategy on how to properly close a project. If you're new here, I am Professor PM. I've spent over 30 years managing projects for billion-dollar Fortune 500 companies. I am PMP certified, and project management is what I do all day, every day. Let's jump right in. To make this easy to understand, you're going to use a simple analogy of going on a hike. Just think of it like this. Planning a project is like mapping out a long-distance hike. All right, first up, you have to pack your bag with the absolute essentials, right? Well, in project management, we have the same thing. We call them the big 4 core cornerstones. You just can't leave home without them. Getting the balance between these 4 is absolutely essential. Cost, that's your budget for all your gear and food. Quality is making sure that gear isn't going to fall apart halfway up the mountain. Risk is your backup plan for a sudden storm or a wrong turn. And schedule, well, that's your itinerary. Knowing you need to be at this campsite on this night. Now, this brings us to a really critical exam concept, the Cost Performance Index, or CPI. The easiest way to think about it is like a quick financial health check for your project. And if the CPI number drops below 1, that's when the alarm bells should be going off. It's a clear signal that you're spending more money than you plan. Okay, exam tip. If you see a question where you're over budget, remember these 2 steps. First, you identify that your CPI is less than 1. But second, and this is the most important part, your very next move is to figure out why. You perform a root cause analysis. You don't just start slashing the budget. You have to understand the story behind the numbers first. You know how every hiking trail has those tricky spots where people always seems to get confused. Well, project management is no different. There are a few key concepts that always seem to trip people up on the exam. So let's clear those up right now. A huge point of confusion is the project plan versus the product plan. Your project plan, that's the itinerary for this one specific hike. It's temporary, it's got a clear start and an end. The product plan, though, that's the guidebook to the entire national park. It's long-term. It covers many different hikes or projects over a product's entire life. Here's another classic mix-up. Milestone versus tasks. A task is an activity that actually takes time to do. Like a hike 5 miles, it has a duration. A milestone or a key milestone, on the other hand, is a key point in time, an event like reaching the summit. And that little difference is everything, because a milestone has 0 duration. And burn this in your brain for the exam. It's one of the easiest rules to remember, and it comes up all the time. Just think of a milestone as a snapshot in time, a pin on your map. It doesn't take time. A milestone just marks time. Okay, so you've got your map and you know how to avoid those common trail traps. What's next? Well, You are probably not hiking alone, are you? It's time to think about your team and all your gear. This is all about resource management. And remember, when we say resources, it's so easy to just think about people, but it's much bigger than that. Of course, you have your human resources, your hiking team, but you've also got physical resources like your tents and your gear, and even virtual resources like your GPS software or your part permits. So, what happens when one person on your team is carrying way too much of the gear? They are over allocated. The technique you use to fix that is called resource leveling. And for the exam, the thing you have to remember is that resource leveling almost always pushes out your schedule and changes your project's end date. Let's be real, no hike ever goes exactly according to plan. You need a strategy for when the weather turns, or you find out a trail is unexpectedly closed. This is where risk and stakeholder management become your best friends. Now, the team risk register sounds super formal and intimidating, but it's really not. I want you to think of it as your project's watch list. It's just a simple list of potential problems where you guess how likely they are and how bad they'd be, and then you assign someone to keep an eye on them. It's your what if plan. And here is the golden rule for the exam. If an unplanned risk pops out of nowhere, like a bear suddenly appearing on the trail, your very first action is to update the risk register. You document it before you do anything else. Always. Now let's talk about the people. Stakeholders are basically anyone who has an interest in your project or your hike. You classify them based on their engagement level, all the way from someone who is completely unaware to someone who's a leading supporter of your journey. So here's the strategy you need to know. If you have a stakeholder with high power, like say the head park ranger, and they also have a high interest in what you're doing, you absolutely must manage them closely. Your job is to keep them informed, keep them happy, and keep them satisfied. It's a top priority. You did it. And here is the bonus that I mentioned to you at the start of this video. You have made it to the summit. The hard work is done. But remember that the project isn't actually over. Finishing the work on the trail is not the same as officially closing out the project. There are still a few really important steps left. So let's walk through the proper shutdown sequence. First, you finalize all the loose ends. Then you archive all your maps and logs, so you can refer them later. And you write down all your lessons learned. After that, you hand over the finished product, like the beautiful photos from your hike. And it's only then, after all of that, that you finally release your team. And I really want to hammer this point home because it's a huge exam tip. The sequence matters. You don't just say goodbye to your team at the top of the mountain. All that important stuff I just mentioned, archiving records, documenting lessons learned, all of that has to happen before you officially release the project team. So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this one thought. Every single project, every single hike, it teaches you something new. The real goal isn't about finishing this one journey. It's about asking yourself, what did I really learn? And how is that going to make my next journey or project even better. That right there is the true heart of a great project manager.